Hello everybody, this is Tennessee Bass Fisherman here today, and I'm starting a series on how to get into bass fishing, beginning bass fishing. One of the quintessential parts of bass fishing is knowing how to use a bait caster. Now I know a lot of people, they're strictly against using bait casters because they all say, oh, it's all bird nests and backlashes and they're too hard to use and just a big old mess. But today I'm going to show you how to use and that you don't need the most expensive bait casters to be a good bass fisherman when you're beginning out. Now what I've got here is I've got the Abu Garcia Black Max. Now this reel, I think on Tackle Warehouse is about $49, maybe $49. I got the combo. I switched this reel onto a different rod just for now until I get a new reel for this one. First we're going to go over the different parts of the reel, okay? Now this right here, this little black knob is called the spool tension knob, okay? Now, so when you go into your local tackle shop and you hear all the professionals or whoever you want to call them talking about the spool tension knob, you'll know that's what that is, okay? Now this is your star drag, okay? That's that adjusts and controls how much pressure is applied to the line before it starts letting line off the spool, okay? Now this is your brake system. Now they'll be depending on what kind of reel you get, they'll be different for every reel. This is a magnetic braking system, which a lot of the reels have now, but there is a pitch centrifugal brake system, but I won't go into that right now. Okay, now to start out bass fishing, and when you're just learning how to use a bait caster, what you're going to want to do is, just to start out and practice, you're going to want to tighten your magnetic braking system almost 3/4 of the way or all the way up, okay? Now I'd say tighten your spool tension knob all the way up, okay? Now what we're going to do is, see how that bait is not falling at all? What you want to do is you want to loosen your spool tension knob slowly until that bait just slowly drops, okay? And that's what position you want to practice your throwing a bait caster with, okay? So you want a bigger bait to start practicing with, like a 1/2 ounce or more. Okay, now it's very simple to cast a bait caster. All you're going to do is you're just going to swing it out. When you cast the bait, you're going to take your thumb off the spool as it's going through the air. Otherwise it won't go nowhere, it'll just swing around on the end of your rod. You're going to take your thumb off the spool, and when it gets almost to where it's going to hit the water, you're going to apply the pressure of your thumb back onto the spool, therefore stopping the spool and being able to stop a backlash, okay? Now what a backlash is it is when the spool is traveling faster than the line that the lure is taking out, okay? So that means it just keeps spinning, but there's nothing pulling it. And that'll wrap up and make a big mess in your reel, okay? So there's several different types of cast. I'm just going to go into two. There's the overhead cast, where you swing it back and release it and stop it right before it hits the water over your head. Now you can do it with 2 hands or 1 hand. I use it 2 hands just because that's how I like to fish, with 2 hands. And then there's the sidearm cast, where you bring the bait to the side and just swing it around, and right before it hits the water, you're going to put your thumb back on the reel, okay? And this will stop 50 or probably 80 to 90% of your backlashes. Some of them you will make contact with something in air, like say if you smack a dock when you're casting toward a dock or something. That would cause a backlash if you're not prepared to stop it before it hits the dock. And just beginner anglers, just one of the main thing is don't get depressed and stop, because all it takes is practice, practice, practice. It's like anything in life, you gotta practice it to get good at it. Fishing, a lot of people say, oh, it's easy, there ain't nothing to it. Now, I'd love to see one of them come out here and try to do what bass fishermen do every day and think nothing about it. This has been Tennessee Bass Fisherman here today. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment on what video we should do next. Check out some of my reel reviews and my how-to videos. You can find those in my playlist section or just in my videos section. This is one of the first videos on my beginner angler series that I'm going to be doing. Thank you for watching. See you next time.